The anime begins with an introvert boy Shinichi Sakuri, starting his college sophomore first year, as he's reunited with his old friend Hana Uzaki. Starting out her freshman year, which makes Shinichi her senpai, but as the year goes on, Uzaki sees senpai wasting his school year away all alone, so she is determined to help with senpai's loner life. The next school year arrived, the now college junior Shinichi meets Uzaki again. As she tries to make their year more exciting. After senpai received a notice about his lecture class being cancelled, he decided to use his free time to watch a movie alone. But Uzaki manages to force her way into tag along with senpai. At first, senpai is hesitant with her tagging along. However, when Uzaki embarrasses him by shouting in front of many people, he reluctantly accepted her. Now at the cinema, Uzaki couldn't help but to laugh at senpai's loner routine, irritating him further. When they are deciding what movie to watch, senpai surprisingly offers to pay for her ticket, which Uzaki happily accepts and even toys with senpai a little before entering the movie theater. After finishing the movie, Uzaki suggests they go to the mall to check out some electronics. During the trip, Uzaki and senpai decide to try out the new massage chairs. But out of nowhere, Uzaki starts making some ecchi noises when she maxes out the intensity, causing senpai to embarrassingly drags her away. They then run into a VR booth, which Uzaki is terrified when she tries out the new shooting game. Now it's senpai's turn to test it. He is amazed by the realistic graphics of the ocean. However, when a giant shark appears, he starts to flail his arm in panic and accidentally grabs her OPPAI, thinking it is a big jellyfish. After that, they make their way to a batting center. Seeing how bad senpai is at batting, she made a bet with senpai, stating as she hit a home run, the dinner is on him. Unfortunately, she hurt her back during the swing. Although senpai advises her to see a doctor, she insists they should get dinner. They then went to a ramen shop and have dinner together. Uzaki sneakily ate all of his food. The next day at school, Uzaki warmly greeted senpai and stated that yesterday was fun and they should hang out next time too. Although senpai preferred being alone, he didn't mind hanging out with her, so he accepted her invitation. However, Uzaki then goes on to embarrass him when she yells that her back still hurts after what they did last night. It is revealed that senpai works at a cafe run by Mr. Asi, and he had been working there for 10 years and only recently hired senpai as a part-timer. However, when Uzaki appears, Asi is shocked to know Uzaki is a college student even though he have years of experience meeting with all sorts of people. After that, senpai begins to serve Uzaki. But seeing how senpai is serving her, she starts to complain about his attitude towards a customer is wrong, and even tells Asi to give him a pay cut. Thinking it will be amusing to watch, Asi tells him to treat her like a usual customer. However, as he do it, prompting him to throw her out. Meanwhile, Asi decided to call it a day because he also couldn't contain his laugh. Now walking back home, Uzaki comments that the cafe is a very pleasant place to relax, and she even suggests she will get a part-time job there too. The next morning, Uzaki is on her way to school as she bumps into senpai trying to pet a cat, but is unable to do so. She then shows him the proper ways to pet a cat, revealing she have 2 pet cats in her home. But as that is happening, a passing bike stares away the cat, causing senpai to feel really sad that he wasn't able to pet the cat. So Uzaki decides to catch the cat for senpai, but ends up getting stuck in a wall of plants. With no choice, senpai ends up pulling her out after being embarrassed by some strangers passing by. Now at the school cafeteria, Uzaki is shocked to hear that senpai is eating with a friend. She later toys with senpai by texting him constantly. After school, Uzaki comes to the cafe again to see if senpai could help her with a report. While senpai is helping her, Asi offers them some sandwiches and tea, which they kindly accepted. Out of nowhere, Uzaki asked to visit his house and even spending a night there, since he lived near their campus, which senpai immediately rejects, thinking it's bad for a girl to stay at his place. However, Uzaki is just trying to play video games together at his house. Embarrassed, he calls her a moron repeatedly. Watching from the counter, Asi laughed and say that this was fun and considered give him a raise to see more. The next day, the daughter of Mr. Aussie, Ami Aussie reveals her thoughts and opinions on Senpai. As he cashes out, two customers they learn his height and former sports profession, which Ami overhears and elated by the information. Aussie pulls his daughter back into reality after he catches her drifting away in thought. Just as her father orders her to clean a table, Uzaki arrives in the cafe. While he is annoyed by Uzaki's presence, Ami is perplexed as to who Uzaki is. It's then Senpai answers that they went to the same college together. Seated at her own table, Uzaki introduces herself to Ami, and she notices Uzaki's cute yet beastly appearance. This makes her want to help Senpai and Uzaki get closer. When she runs out of water, she gets up to fill it. Immediately, she crashes into Senpai, and the two get soaked in cold water. They then argue with each other as Aussie and Ami stand idly by and watch. Visiting the cafe again, Uzaki learns that Senpai is out with a cold today. The cause of it is believed to be from being drenched in cold water yesterday. Meanwhile, at Senpai's apartment, he is shocked to see Uzaki standing outside of his house. Before he could ask how she knows his address, he loses consciousness due to fatigue. In hopes to help him, Uzaki goes out shopping for some food and medicine for him. With the food she purchased, she makes Senpai some rice porridge, which he eats it. And after he's finished, Uzaki has him take off his shirt, so she can wipe him down with a wet towel. Eventually, he lays back down in his bed, and Uzaki starts to play video game, which annoys him as she keeps pestering him while he is trying to rest. The following day, he runs into Ami and tells her that he's recovered from his cold. Elated by his recovery, Ami claims they should all enjoy Korean barbecue to celebrate. As Uzaki goes to the bathroom, Aussie and Ami pressure him to reveal how Uzaki was when she took care of him, which he answers it and further elaborates on how he wants a solo lifestyle for himself. Not wanting this for Senpai, Ami and Aussie plan to get Uzaki and him closer to each other. Uzaki then returns to the table, and when she noticed that Senpai calls Ami by her first name, she grumpily eats all of the meat on the table. The next day at college, as Senpai reflects on the Korean barbecue celebration, he's approached by Uzaki who tries to hypnotize him. To pay her back for helping him, he simply goes with it. Growing annoyed with her games, he demands to know why she is doing this. She answers it's because he calls Ami by her first name, which he then explains it is because Ami requests him to do it, and Uzaki accepts his reason. At the cafe, Senpai is informed that they will be taking a hot spring vacation, and they suggest that he take a holiday somewhere to enjoy himself. However, he decides to stay home and play video games for 72 straight hours. At that moment, his doorbell rings, and not to his surprise, it's Uzaki. It is because she figured that he will be home playing video games and asks if he wants to play Doraemon Go. Due to a special event going on in the game, Uzaki invites him to join her. Outside, Uzaki notes that he has a scary look on his face after she shows him a cat that she spotted in her game, noting that his eyes hurt while looking at the screen. So Uzaki decides that they should get him some glasses. At the glasses store, they coincidentally run into Ami, who is informed of Senpai's 3-day video game seclusion. Uzaki then decides that Ami can help them look for a perfect pair of glasses for Senpai to wear. He then tries on a bunch of different glasses, a few of which amuses Uzaki and Ami. When Uzaki tries on a pair of glasses and asks for his opinion, his tepid comments triggers her. Taking a train ride home, the train slowly becomes crowded with people, causing the two to get pressed up against each other. To keep his cool, he tries to picture tranquil settings, but Uzaki grows concerned by his display. When it was time for them to get off, he fails to get off due to being in too calm of a state. Now snapped back to reality, he sees that Uzaki called him several times and decides to ignore it. When Aussie learns from him about his excursion with Uzaki, he tries his best to not laugh. Ami then chimes in and suggests that he should make it up with Uzaki. So the following day at college, he approaches Uzaki, who is sleeping on the benches. She's depressed over the fact that there's no holidays in June. Furthermore, the rainy weather dampens her morose mood even further. Therefore, Senpai suggests they hang out next weekend, which astounds Uzaki. Ultimately, it's decided that two should hang out with each other at his apartment. On the day of the hangout, she then takes a shower, and for the time being wears Senpai's clothing. She gives him an old pot of hers, so that he has decent cookware in his house. As the beef curry is made, the two play a game called Meow Craft together, and they seem to have a lot of fun together. Afterward, Senpai walks Uzaki home to the train station, but they have to walk back to his apartment as she forgot her pass there. The anime continues with Senpai walking to college, and he is approached by Uzaki, who wants to come over his apartment and play some more Meowcraft. Later, Senpai has a dream where he tries to rescue a stray cat from a plank extended out from a towering high building. The cat jumps over him, causing Senpai to fall to his doom, and he wakes up immediately. Uzaki witnesses this and teases him on the matter. Ironically, the topic for the class is dream interpretation, and examples are given relating to falling in your dreams from great heights. After the class, the two talk about it, and the professor overhears it and thinks the class she just taught was rather juvenile. As they continue walking down several flights of stairs, she's caught by Senpai, who then notes that people who fall down stairs can develop chlamydophobia, which is a fear for descending stairs. Senpai then does a monologue about the phobia that scares Uzaki. Meanwhile, Senpai's best friend, Itsuhiro Sakaki, uses Senpai as an excuse to get away out of a group date with a couple of girls. Outside by a couple of vending machines, Itsuhiro inquires how Senpai was doing while he was gone. Reluctant to answer, as his days were predominantly spent with Uzaki. He then gives Itsuhiro a blunt response, which disconcerts Itsuhiro. Out of the blue, Uzaki approaches the two, and is astounded by the fact that Senpai has a friend. This sudden revelation elates her, and Itsuhiro realizes that Uzaki is someone that Senpai has been hanging with from time to time, which Itsuhiro then formally introduces himself. After Uzaki promises to continue hanging with Senpai, the bell rings, and she heads to her next class. Much to Senpai's chagrin, Itsuhiro praises Senpai for finally finding love, and vows to help him get closer to her. The following day, Itsuhiro approaches Senpai and Uzaki while they're playing game. Itsuhiro then asks them how far have you gone, insinuating that they're deep in their relationship. Annoyed by the question, they abscond from Itsuhiro. Reflecting on the conversation he had with the two, Ami approaches Itsuhiro and talks with him. She warns him to stop with his Cupid shenanigans, although he claims he is just trying to connect the two. So, he tries to propose an alliance with Ami, which is instantly rejected. Meanwhile, just outside of the cafeteria, Senpai is chastised by a didactic Uzaki over some chocolate candy. The scene draws attention from the surrounding people, and they give her a round of applause when she's finished. To Senpai's confession, he's never liked mint-flavored things due to a bad childhood experience. Furthermore, he's never had a chocolate before, which triggers Uzaki as he's judged her favorite candy without ever trying it. To redeem himself, Senpai tries it and actually enjoys it. Back to Ami and Itsuhiro, the two continue debating on whether to help Senpai and Uzaki with their relationship. Greetings, it's Makoto-chan. Our journey today may have concluded, but the tales of the anime world are endless. Honor our tales by pressing the subscribe button and let the bells of notifications ring. Peruse these other stories, and may we meet again under the starry night.